All right, so I think that's a great jumping off point for my guy, Paul Finebaum, as we recap an interesting week two. We didn't have the headliners like we had in week one, Paul, as we mentioned a moment ago. But for me, the biggest story in all of the sport, as I said a second ago, is South Florida, now 2 ranked wins. Unfortunately for Billy Napier and the Gators, it came at his expense at home in the swamp on a night where the offense looked listless. And because of it, they lose a game that they were favored, Paul, by 18 and a half points.
And Matt, not only were they favored, this was probably the second easiest game on their schedule now that everything has repositioned with Florida State and Miami and literally everyone else on their schedule. So, uh, we talked about them a couple of weeks ago as a playoff team. I mean, they're no longer a playoff team. They're not really even a team that you have to take seriously anymore, especially when you look at the absolute meltdown at the end of that game. I mean, it's completely inexcusable. And what's even worse is it's a continuum of the way Billy Napier has been coaching for most of his tenure at Florida. He got on that winning streak at the end when
Yeah.
everything seemed to come together, but it appears that he's thrown all that away. His goodwill has gone down the drain. He is clearly back on the hot seat, and his worst enemy right now is the schedule. I mean, Matt, anybody can figure this thing out. The next 4 games are at LSU, at Miami, Texas at home, and at Texas A&M. I mean, where in the world do you find a win in that group?
Okay, every coach has that moment in their career at a school where you get through the rough beginning of laying the foundation. You kind of have some choppy waters and a little bit of turbulence as you get to that point. And then if it's going the right way, there's a breakthrough. And that's what we thought Napier had last year with that ridiculous schedule to get bowl eligible and win the bowl game. You're thinking, okay, here we go. It's starting to take root in Gainesville. And then yesterday, when you're an offensive head coach and you got DJ Lagway and the hype coming back, you can't have what you had yesterday. But for me, the player spitting, Paul, at the end of the game, and then South Florida taking it all the way down the field. Joey Galloway said it on College Football Finals, said it in studio. He's like, look, South Florida wanted this game more. And that when you're saying that about a Florida team at the swamp, that's saying something.
Yeah, I mean, it's 100% true, and I mean, I've run out of adjectives, and we're barely into this segment, but that's you can blame that on any way you want. I mean, ultimately the players are responsible, but if that's how they feel, then what sense is there to continue this? Because I remember last year they got off to that disastrous start, but they were losing to good teams. They lost to
Yeah.
Miami in the opener and Texas A&M in the third week. I mean, they were both quite good at the time, and then they came back. But how do you come back from this? And the questions that Scott Strickland, the athletic director there, has been dodging are now right back with him. And he just got a new extension, by the way, the AD. So you have to wonder, is he in the same position that he was when he has been boldly defending Billy Napier for so long? I'd be curious to see what he says now.
Yeah, especially like when you have an AD that hitches his wagon to 2 head coaches, one he got rid of, Dan Mullen, to bring in his replacement. Usually, sometimes that typically ends the AD's run if the football coach that he hired isn't successful. Interesting situation there in Gainesville. I still think it's too early to look too far into the future with what's going on with Billy Napier. But again, yesterday it starts bringing these bad feelings to mind for Gators fans and people around the country. It's like, well, wait a second. I thought this was going to be on his star quarterback, DJ Lagway. He was going to hitch himself to him, and they were going to go on this magical run. And that just wasn't the case yesterday. But on a positive side, Alex Gold is South Florida. Right now, the biggest surprise in college football. They should be ranked when the poll comes out, and they have Miami to wrap up their 3-game gauntlet to start the season.
You want this, you got that. No way.